Good morning. We are back in the Tribal Council area for the second vote out of day 4. And incoming to Tribal Council are Dion, Liz, Ned, Amy, Kendall, Kaylee, Kira, and Isaiah.
Oh, y'all going to the
All right, we will now bring in our jury. Rayhan, Andy, and Patrick voted out at our last tribal council. So Isaiah, last tribal council you mentioned that, the vote probably wasn't going the way that was best for your game. Do you feel like the aftermath of that you've been able to kind of regain a little bit of control and steer this one in a better direction?
I feel like I have more control of where I know things are going, not necessarily that I'm steering in the right. Like, I don't think I'm the driver in the car. I think I'm in the back seat. Not even the front passenger. I think I'm in the back seat, awaiting to see what the driver does. I'm not necessarily sure who the driver could be.
No idea.
Not really. Not specifically. I do think it might be one of the females, which I'm cool with. I can't pinpoint who. But yeah, I definitely.
I'm spilling the tea when it gets to me.
So yeah, I feel like I have more control. Just again, of my understanding of where the vote's gonna go. But at the same time, and I've talked to some of the people here, like I feel like I've gotten the same name from almost everyone. And I've even talked to the person of the name that I've been hearing, but at the same time, I still gonna keep in the back of my mind that might not be true. And I've also said that, like, hey, I know it might not be true. I might be getting lied to right now, and I'm okay with that, weirdly enough. So, yeah.
So there's one name going on right now, not alternate plans. Anyone wanna? Is your name going on? All right. What do you go back and tell the rest of this group? Like, why you? Do you feel it?
Well, they've all been kind enough to be honest with me, which I said, please don't blindside me. Tell me. And they've been all very respectful, and apparently I'm so damn lovable that they've got to get rid of me now.
Yeah.
She jokes, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
All right, but let's talk about this, Dion. I mean, this is now, assuming this again is a large majority vote. I mean, there really hasn't been a split vote at this merged group, right? So I mean, at a certain point, some of you are just flowing along, but there are secret alliances within that larger group, the layers of the onion. I mean, is there a danger going with these safe votes and not upending kind of the normal structure here?
You said safe vote to me last round as well. I don't believe this is a safe vote.
Okay.
I feel like there are moves that you have to make, because if you don't make them at the right time, that becomes the threat. So it's take it out before it becomes a threat, which in turn makes it threatening right now. So I don't see it as a safe vote. I think that this is something that I think everybody knows this is a long game. This is a long game move. Yeah.
Well, all right, Liz. I disagree with what Dion said a little bit from my perspective.
Sure.
I don't necessarily believe that these are easy votes. What I'm talking about is the fact that, you're all voting as a large collective. That can be really dangerous in that you're not sure, are you in the true center of that alliance or not? I mean, is it time to start breaking away and creating those smaller groups? Because at the end of the day, these large votes are only good for a handful of people, not for everyone.
I think that's something that everyone has to, take in consideration for themselves. When is the time? I think there's times when you should stay with the group, and that makes sense because that moves, your game forward and the people that you want to work with forward. And I think there's going to be a time when it comes to, it has to be a split. And I think that it's really just deciding when that time is.
Okay. Kaylee, you felt like you were in danger at the last tribal council. Are you still feeling that coming into this one, or you feel like the way that one went with Patrick going, you feel like you've regained some control here?
I feel like I've regained a little
control, but that's always scary to say. I don't know if control is the right word. I think relief is more what I'm feeling. I don't know. It's always tough to tell. There's no secret. I would hate to vote the way that people are talking about, but I'm not going to go against the majority, so got to go where the votes are. She knows I love her.
Kira, is it just that people are afraid to say an alternate plan? Keep your head down so that you're not the next one to go? Is that what's kind of happening here?
I think everyone initially, when we start strategizing, is afraid to drop names. And then we realize that time is cutting short and we need to make a decision. And we really reflect on our past vote, how that strategy works for us going forward, and what we need to look at going into our next vote. So it's not always the vote that's right in front of you. As much as we want to say this is our present, we do need to think long haul. At this small of a group, we need to look long haul. We need to look who's sitting on the jury and how much time they have to reflect. And so, yeah, it's a lot to consider.
So Kendall, based on what was said earlier, it feels like Amy is being targeted because she's too much of a social threat. There are other types of threats that are out here. I mean, are you taking an eye on challenge threats or strategic threats? I mean, where do you rank those kind of, how do you decide, okay, we got to take out the social threat this time, but keeping in strategic or physical threats? I mean, you have to kind of make that decision, right?
Yeah, it's a tough decision. I mean, some people are autoimmune to challenge wins, and other people just talk their way out of every vote, and so you have to weigh the options. And to be completely honest, I'm sorry, Amy, like, you're a great person, and that's why I have to vote you. And I've already voted for her before, and it's because I think she's a huge threat. So
fair enough. Ned, Isaiah sort of hinted that one of the women might be in charge. Is that kind of how this is breaking down in terms of a group? Like do you feel like you might be on the outs if you're not one of the women that are in charge? Or is that maybe a misread by Isaiah?
Ooh, that's a spicy.
Or maybe a misunderstanding of what Isaiah said on my account.
No. I mean, I think you heard Isaiah right, and I don't know if I completely disagree. I think this is a really complicated social game, and who Isaiah perceives to be in charge, I might see as on the bottom of a group, and vice versa.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so, and I think everyone could have a different perception of who is running the game. But I just like, I wanted to, while I'm talking, I wanted to say that we all like had one-on-one conversations with Amy to say goodbye, and like at the very last minute I did hear some whispering, and I just wanted to say I think it would be really disrespectful to have said a serious and meaningful goodbye to a player who we freaking love so much and then do something different. So if you're thinking of doing something different, I would just say that to me, I would see that as really disrespectful. So if
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Amy, I guess so. Obviously, everyone's kind of had their goodbye with you. I mean, did you try to push? Did you try to push an alternate plan? I mean, what are you saying to the group here? What is your kind of last gasp pitch?
Well, the only other name that I was told that's even slightly in consideration, but still probably not, was Kaylee. So I had a little, I'm sorry, I love you. This is the only thing I can do at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I say something else?
Of course,
real quick?
please, yeah.
Happy birthday, Taylor.
Oh.
Happy birthday,
happy
Taylor.
birthday, Taylor.
All right. Unless anyone has anything else, we can get to it. So, Isaiah, we'll have you start.
All right, and off the players go to the voting booth, and off we go again to our usual hanging spot, or hanging out spot. All right. As always, y'all can ask me questions as I am talking with you and filling you in. And I'm excited for what I'm going to tell you. So we're just going back on our little nature hike to our boulder. Ah! Oh, fucking Christ, sorry. I heard a hornet. It has hopefully not stalked me. Hopefully it was just flying by. Okay. All right, so that was a lot of, I mean, I don't know, y'all. That was either a truly boring tribal council, or everyone is really piling it on to cover up the alternate plan that I've heard about that not a single soul mentioned at that tribal council. So, so let's get to it. Let's see. Obviously Amy upset, thinking that it is her. Let's see. Where do I start to tell this tale? All right, so Amy was crying earlier because she had heard her name. She knew it was her, but she was actually crying because she had heard that the alternate plan was Kaylee, and you know, really the thought of voting out Kaylee made her so upset that she started crying, because as we are hearing and as we saw visibly in this last kind of voting talk session, all the women came together, and it did in fact seem like maybe they were firming up a more like core women's alliance. So I think Amy was really upset at the thought that that might not actually be happening, and that it might still be woman v. woman. Let's see. Let's go over to. However, she didn't want to vote Kaylee. Who she wanted to vote was Dion. Now, Dion, as we saw, played an idol last tribal council that was played incorrectly on him, did not end up saving him because he didn't need saving. However, Dion still has what he thinks is a real idol, but it's actually the fake idol that Kendall planted. So the other idol he has does not have the fish pendant on it that the real idols have, that one that he used. So he thinks he still has one more real idol, but he doesn't. And Kendall knows that Dion had it and thinks that Dion knows that it's fake, but Dion does not know that. Yeah, so Dion is kind of in this grouping where he thinks that it's like the four brains from the original like mental group plus Isaiah versus Kendall, Amy, and Kaylee, who would not be involved in the four brain group. Let's see, where else do I think? Isaiah was kind of weighing in his mind, okay, are we going Amy? Are we going Kaylee? But he was feeling like he was being lied to this round. So he's not like super confident if that is the plan. Kaylee and Kira are both like in on the women's alliance. Kaylee kind of was trying to weigh her options because they all realize Amy is a threat to win. However, all of the women in their confessionals today mentioned that they were super worried about Dion, and if they had their way, all of them would be voting him. But they didn't mention that at the tribal council, that is for sure. They recognized him as a big threat, and so they all want him out of the game. So all of the women are kind of on the Dion train. Ned also knows that it's Amy versus Dion, and he's considering voting the wrong person on purpose, just to try and cover that up. And then if he makes it to an FTC saying, hey, I knew where this was going, but I voted in the minority on purpose to try and cover up my ties, because he and Kendall have a super secret, it's not even a final two, it's just that they're a super strong pair who like has played together all game, but has been like warily side-eyeing each other all game. So Ned, Kendall, and Liz have a very tight three, but Ned of the two does not want to be sitting next to Kendall. Ned realizes Kendall's playing a really good game, and Kendall has this strategy where she's been eliminating one person in each of the perceived pairs, because the pairs like there's been a lot of talk about like who's paired with who in this game. So Dion and Isaiah perceived as a pair as well. And so she's been like trying to pick that off to great effect. And Ned realizes that that's like a really mighty argument in an FTC. Let's see. Liz has her like group of Liz, Kendall, and Ned. Liz is also maybe tight with Dion. I put an arrow, so I think that's what it means. Liz this morning was kind of looking around at everyone and realizing, oh, I'm finally noticing that there's some big players left in this game, which I'm sure if Andy knew, he would be like screaming about. And so she's also like, wow, she's also noticing that she hasn't had a single vote come her way yet. And so she's been like really surprised at how far she's come without being kind of in danger. In other news, sorry, I heard Cam talking really loudly, so. In other news, there is a lot of talk this round about the banked votes being used. I think everyone on all sides of all of these different groupings might be busting out their banked votes to try and make sure that the person they want to go home goes home. So, maybe all of those plans went away and the women have since had a change of heart. Maybe someone was doing some string pulling. I'm not really sure. So maybe it is just going to be a straight up Amy vote and all of this is like old news, which like in this game, as we've seen, like these players can change their minds 30 seconds before a tribal and come up with a whole new plan. There was some whispering, but I think minimal whispering this time around. So I'm not sure. Let's see if I have anything else to tell you. I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's all I've got. So, do we know who has banked votes currently? I wish I knew that, but I do not remember. I'm sorry. I think Liz has one. Maybe Ned has one. I'm not really sure. Yeah. Sorry. And then again, as far as idols go, Kendall has the only real idol in the game right now, I believe, that she got yesterday. So Kendall has a real idol. Dion has a fake idol. I don't know if Kendall has told anyone about planting the fake idol, so I don't know if anyone else is aware that it's out there and is aware, aside from Isaiah knowing that he has one, but I don't know if maybe Isaiah thinks that like the idol that Dion played last round was the idol that he found. So perhaps Isaiah doesn't think he has another one. Also, how devastating if Dion does end up going, playing that real idol last round when he didn't need to and keeping this fake idol for today. Or for this round. So that would be like pretty crazy. Anyway, all right, I'm being summoned back, so back we go. Let's see if this vote was as straightforward as these players were making it out to be in Tribal Council. Or, sorry, it landed on my shoulder and it was scary. Or if something else is up these players' sleeves. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Okay. All right, and looks like our last player has returned. Cam already out near the voting booth. All of our players waiting. All of our jury silently taking it all in. Looking very happy to be fresh and clean and fed. Players just waiting here silently for the votes to be tallied and brought back in. Cam coming back on into the tribal council area with the votes.
All right. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play one, now would be the time to do so. I'll get to the votes. First vote, Amy. Second vote, Dion. Third vote, Amy. Fourth vote, Amy. Fifth vote, Dion. Sixth vote, Dion. That's 3 each. Seventh vote, Dion. Eighth vote, Dion. Ninth vote, Dion. And 10th vote, Dion. That's enough. The fourth member of our jury, Dion. Try to start Thank you.
All right. And we will be following Dion out of the tribal council area to catch up with him as soon as we are far enough away from the rest of the players. Dion, we are still live, so once we get far enough, this will be your time to share anything you'd like to share, any thoughts you have, and all that good stuff. And we will maybe have you head on. I'm trying to figure out where they're going. Okay. Let's have you go right in here in this nice little foresty path. All right. There's good. We can kind of hang out right here.
Okay, cool.
All right. The floor is yours.
Oh, hi. What did you want me to share?
Sure. So first, just any thoughts you have, anything you want to share coming straight up that vote, any game reflections, anything at all. And then I'll ask you a couple actual questions.
Sure. The funny thing is what happened this vote is what I thought was happening in the last vote, which is why I played my idol. Fun fact for everyone at home, I do have a second idol on me. So I had the opportunity to play at this tribal, but I was feeling really good. They reassured me this time, but they didn't reassure me last time. So I got played. But I have had such an amazing time playing this game. It's been incredible. This is an amazing group of people. I'm excited to see our first female winner. It's gonna happen. I had it already banked in my mind that they divided and conquered. And it was something that I thought, if I can lock things down with people, I thought I had a final four with, well, I thought I had a final five to a final four and a final three. And they didn't follow through. I know that Ned is on the outs. I saw his little note to Amy in the corner, but other than that, I think the rest of them, I think even Isaiah voted for me. So, yeah, disappointed. However, I don't know if I played my idol now, if that would have made any difference. I get to keep some jewelry and wear it on the jury. So
You sure are. Congratulations. Yeah. You made it all the way to day 4 and got that jury spot. A ton to be proud of. I would love to know maybe something that you're the most proud of about your time out here.
Making it to the last day, the final day. I got out of camp last night. I ran to a camp I've never been to. I searched through Ash to get a hidden immunity idol while everyone was sleeping. That was so much fun because Amy stayed up all night just talking and wouldn't let me get out of there. Eventually said I had to pee and filled my water bottle. So I had to, it was like a good hour and a half that I was waiting, on top of the hour and a half that we were all talking. So 3 hours just to try and get this idol.
Wow.
But, you know, I got to play. I got to have a good time. I've made it to the final day. I got taken out because people thought I was playing a good game. And what better way to get taken out of the game?
Absolutely. I think in these games, a lot of times, you know, you learn a lot about yourself along with, you know, all the other players. Is there something maybe that struck you as something you learned about yourself out here, or just something?
I think for me, it's that I'm a lot more skeptical than I was when I was younger. I think when I was younger, I was more willing to speak up and say, you know, lock things in significantly. And I think I took my time this time around. That may have hurt me, but I think I still think I'm very perceptive, and I think that I had a good read on the game. I just put my trust in the wrong people at the wrong time. It was something that I had in the back of my mind, and I can kind of go out not feeling like it was a complete blindside. I know how it happened. I just wish it didn't.
Sure. All right. Well, before we let you go, head on over to Ponderosa. You were playing for a fabulous cause, so this is your chance to shout them out to the viewers and let everyone know who you were playing for.
Yes, I was playing for the Down Syndrome Federation Australia, specifically Victoria, which is where I was born and raised. I have a brother with autism and Down syndrome, so this is a foundation that has been, you know, something that's connected to my family, and, you know, just wanted to kind of give back the way that they give back. So I'm very happy that I've been able to raise a decent amount of money. I'm very excited about that, and I'm also very excited to see the rest of the people playing for their charities, because they've got amazing charities as well.
Awesome. Well, Dion, thank you so much, and congratulations on a game well played. We will let you head on over to Ponderosa now with your handler, Robbie, who will get you all set.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Robbie.
All right. And away Dion goes with what he thinks is an idol in his pocket. But we all know it is not, and it is fake. And y'all, I don't know if you could see Kendall's face after he was announcing to the tribe, well, I'm going out with another idol, and her face was like that, like trying so hard not to laugh. So an icon. That was amazing. The only thing that could have made that go any better is if he had actually tried to play it and found out that it was a fake. But yeah, awesome stuff. So we're getting pretty much right into our next challenge. I'm gonna head over and see if we're already set up, and if so, I'll stay live, and if not, then we'll be back like very, very, very shortly. But let me come on over here and see what's going on the other side of the plates. I spy Cam, so we'll check in with him. We are still live. Should we cut it or stay live?
5 minutes. We just have a few things to set up quickly, but yeah, we'll be back very, very shortly.
Okay, we'll be live again in 5. Stay locked here. See you soon.